And there is ample research when it comes to this issue. And this issue is, long as you basically don't inflame your body, you can fix cardiovascular, you can reverse it. It takes a decade. It's not immediate. Didn't happen today. It was about 11 years ago when I started on this journey. 12 years ago is when I had the operation. 11 years ago when I started on this journey. And it's been a long journey, making adjustments and biohacks and changes and all that stuff that I've been talking about on most of my videos and channels and stuff like that. But I did start taurine quite early, about 10 years ago, which was really important. And that was accidental, due to basically, and it didn't even have to do with fibrosis. I didn't even know about fibrosis at the time. I took it because I found out that it basically, when you get two things that I found out. One, when you get blood perfusion, you actually get a lot of damage, and how taurine is heart protective from that blood perfusion. Then I also analyzed what are the nutrients inside hearts. And I actually found that coenzyme Q10, taurine, all these different things that were in there. And I go, okay, I need to make sure that I'm getting enough of these things. So I was more focused on, so I supplemented taurine, I supplemented coenzyme Q10 as the reduced form, ubiquinol. So I did a lot of that choline because I found out about my fatty liver and the genetics that I had, that I needed to supplement choline. So I did that. I started eating more eggs. And so all these sort of things fell into place. And over time, it fixed it. And over time, I found out about, it actually fixes fibrosis, because I had glassing of my left lung, which my doctor was fearful that it would go cancerous, that I'd end up with lung cancer. But that actually, as I did the taurine for that, my lung got better. And I was wondering what the hell's going on. So I thought it was just a general diet initially. And then I sort of started looking a bit more into taurine. And then I came across this big, thick type research book that had been done, actually paid by taxpayers in America, stored at the National Institute of Health. And basically I found out that they knew about all these things that taurine does. And I go, wow. So you're telling me the stuff in meat and fish does all these wonderful things? And then is when I had that moment. This was before I started a channel. This is like about a couple of years back, about 5 odd years back. But I didn't talk a lot about it in the early days. I mentioned it here and there, but not a lot. And the reason for it is I wanted to slowly develop the arguments about these sort of things. And I was worried that if I just started talking about taurine, everybody would think I'm a crackpot or something like that. So I needed to make the arguments for meat. And that's why I did a lot of the other videos and all that. And also I wasn't, I downloaded the stuff, but I hadn't read it right through. I only read parts of it, and I knew parts of the stuff. But the more I've been looking into it, and there's a lot of chapters that I still haven't gone through. It's just a shitload. I could basically, for the rest of my life, write on this, just on taurine, nothing else. Just I would run out of life in order to do enough videos. There is so much information about it. And recently I did a video with Pim Johnson where I did like a 2-hour where I primarily spoke. I know Pim didn't she got a few questions in, but not a lot. But and the problem is, even after 2 hours, I felt like I hadn't even covered the subject sufficiently enough, because there was so much to still talk about, all these other. So we're going to do another follow-on about the neurological stuff of that, and also covering some of the functioning of our organs and stuff like that, which we haven't covered in detail. So these are going to be follow-on videos that I'm going to do with Pim Johnson.